see the way she loves me. Maybe you'd understand. I spiraled my blitz a little bit, and that's why I journal, or I sticky note now. During COVID lockdown, I journal pretty hard. No ankle bracelets means no criminal record. And limited stress considering the situation. Now I sticky note more frequently, but not as deep. Oh, okay. Spiral my rating. Are you going to quit chess? No, I'm not quitting until I pass 1,800 over the board, and then we'll see how I feel and how my life looks, if I'm married, where my opportunities are. We got to put some serious time into it at that point. But I do believe anyone with, let's say, a 130 IQ, there's a number. I don't know what it is. From what I've read, and I've read a lot of shit about the human brain, I find it interesting. Peak performance, deliberate practice. 130 IQ is probably the higher end. But there is a number you got to be. You can't just do whatever you want in life. I want to be a rocket scientist. You're fucking dumb. God made you dumb. Why does God hate me? I don't know. I'm not religious. Ponder that question too much. Become smart. I'm just kidding. Religious people. I absolutely believe, though I haven't always. A neurosurgeon who is Christian could be just as good, if not better, than an atheist. But boy, did I beat that question to death as a kid. Shit. How can they be so competent and so simple? I don't understand. He's talking to an imaginary person, and then he's going to do brain surgery. Don't fucking touch my head. But now I would, if they're the best. Unstable. Excuse me. I'm telling stories. My connection is unstable. Is that God intervening? Is he blinding me like he did Saul? I will use you for my purposes even though you don't. Start ruining up my streams. I guess I have to. Jesus. Didn't know you were competent with software. Okay, we're good. So love your. But online chess doesn't count, in my perspective, until 2200. Anytime control. And over the board, you're not a real. You're not an athlete worth following. I mean, any of my friends are lower than 1800, and I'm not even close, so they're better than me. I don't mean to mean. But as far as getting praise, 1800 is when real chess begins over the board. It's a good club player, and they're right. USCF is right on that description. 1800 is a good club player, and that's where it starts. But 2200 online, and I'm not there yet either. I'm not saying they're bad people or I'm better than them. I'm just saying it's not a real chess player yet. It certainly doesn't deserve any praise from grandmasters, unless you tell good jokes or something, which, of course, my personality sparkles. And I could get anyone. I'm not going to. I don't want to. You couldn't pay me enough money to. I could get anyone with whatever that benchmark IQ number is to 1800 who is working a job and starting a family. So, of course, you can't dedicate that much time. But a lot of mistakes. They wouldn't make those mistakes. I have a plan for them, which would mostly not involve play for the first probably half year. I just build prodigies. I build adult prodigies. Some of my friends I'm wanting to do that with, and a few are lightly participating, but I wouldn't do it for money or for a stranger. It's not worth my time. Do I think I'm the best coach on the market? For online, I would be the best to solve your problems. Yeah. Because grandmasters are way above this shit. If they watched some of my games, they couldn't handle the stupidity that happens at this level. Mainly, their opponents don't play exceptions well. Not that I do, but I'm talking about major gaps that differentiate me and my opponents below 2000. They don't handle exceptions worth a shit. It's like they panic. Oh, the opponent didn't castle, or I didn't get to castle. Uh-oh. They're done. They can't get back into chess and just fix the problem. They can't fix the problem manually very well. And that's not just in the open. That's just all the fucking game. And however I play, I get into positions where the opponent is more likely to make a mistake. Put that another way. I follow, I guess, 5 online accounts consistently, which are Julius Schumer or Jules Gambit, Tyler One, Emily Plays Chess, Belisa Chess, and Daniel Negreanu. I threw Negreanu in there because I'm curious about people who have relevant life experience but never played chess until an older age. And he's not figuring it out. But when you look at his games, he doesn't really mess up. I think he sees tactics well. He follows opening principles fine. And when I look at my games, I think if you plugged him in, or an athlete at that level who is trying very hard and takes it seriously, I just feel like they could figure the shit out. So they must not be reaching my positions consistently. And I'm not necessarily beating people, but the positions I reach are more likely to make an untrained opponent mess up. Another thing, which I don't recommend, I don't use my time well. Usually because I'm running my mouth on YouTube. It's so impossible. Whether I say one word, if someone said, "Hey, Dayton, I need you to say the word and," or cow. I hate the cow. That's moo, moo. Say little birdie flies. Dayton, I need you to say little birdie flies when your clock in the rapid chess battle gets to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You can tap me on the shoulder. Little birdie flies. I would run out of time because you messed with my mind, even though it was just 3 words, little birdie flies. Versus if you wanted me to plan a stand-up comedy sketch and memorize it word for word for 10 minutes. I have to talk from a memorized script for 10 minutes with, of course, no reference while playing a chess game. Wouldn't matter if I said little birdie flies or if I talked the whole 10 minutes. I'm going to run out of time if I talk at all. And I don't really know why. But I would say some chess people are that way. You can't talk and play chess. I have a lot of respect for streamers, though I would never want to be a content creator. I just had no connection to chess. And now I've realized it's not so impossible to get good at chess. It's not easy. It's not easy, bro. It's not grandmasters. No, your life has no value if you're not grandmaster, bro. So I'm not that guy. But if I were, I guess I get YouTube thumbnails made about me, assholes. But I do want to see everyone reach their chess goals. And though I spiraled my blitz rating, I got my bullet back to over 2,000. And I'm not going to quit anyway. So I wrote down on a sticky note at Jersey Mike's. Hey, just forgive yourself. Get it back. Be deliberate this time. Don't let it get out of control. And there's nothing to worry about. I want to look at the games I just played at Jersey Mike's. And show why it amazes me that so many people who are actually trying struggle to get above 2,000 in all-time controls. So this will be the top point. This will be the top, let's say 0.9%. I've been at the 99 percentile again for a while, so pretty close to 99.1. So top 1%, top 0.9% is what you're going to see here. I got a little bit of streak going, don't I? Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 6. So let's look at those 6 wins and why online chess is just a bit of a joke. This is 1,200 over the board play, even if you take away our clock. If you could only see the way she loves me, maybe you would understand why I feel this way about her love and what I must do. She says she loves me. That's Nova. That's my dog Nova, who I'm singing about here. She's a beautiful Pyrenees mixture of love and happiness. Lab Pyrador. Or Lab Pyrenees, which is a Pyrador. Probably some Border Collie in her. She's too small. I mean, she's a big girl. Nova, say hi, baby. Yeah. She's just the right size for my phone booth. Going back to, am I religious? Not really at this point in my life. Specifically, I don't see enough evidence to justify further research. Dayton, are you autistic? There's a lot of debate in the chess world I see about people who likely don't have autism being bucketed as autistic. And that's probably my diagnosis. No. Likely I don't have autism. Talk pretty well. Now I took speaking courses and I didn't always make good eye contact. But I overthink the shit out of everything. I've just found ways as I get older to fit in and not worry too much. But I thank God for this phone booth and the dog who fits perfectly. Maybe that's my sign, another sign. He gave me a dog who's big, but not quite too big for the phone booth. You're going to take away my home, take away everything. Like, who was that in the Bible? Was it Job? I'm just going to fuck your life up. Like nothing that's ever happened. Why? Because you believe in me. What a dick move. Why don't you do that to an atheist? Why don't you mess with one of your followers? Or someone who doesn't follow you? Why leave me alone, man? Because I love you. Now let me kill your family. I want them all dead. I want Satan to tempt you everywhere you go. And I want to make sure that you are suicidal 24/7. Or at least give you every reason to be. Why is he doing this to me? I prayed last night. No. Sound like a fun project. That's how I view religion. But I had an actual Pyrenees, or the size we thought Nova would be. I think her mom was a Pyrenees and her dad was a lab. I'm pretty sure that's what it was because her parents kept having babies and they could never catch the mom to spay her. That's the story I was told, at least, because I volunteered at that shelter. And so she kept having beautiful puppies, and I got one of them. She's only 65-ish pounds, and we were expecting well over 100 pounds. And that would not fit in this phone booth. So I wish I could unspay her now. I want to have a Nova puppy, but can't do that. Right, girl? Forgot what I was saying. My brain does that. Okay, so these games here. You seem to play flawlessly. We focus at the moment. Well, everything is a light at this point. I'm not as strict as when I started streaming. At that point, I didn't know my chess. I have focus points, but I'm not like sitting there closing my eyes for a minute trying to really get in my head. Yeah, what am I doing? What my focus point? I'm just just get in my mind lightly, and then play chess. And those are to not be aggressive with my pawns early on at the expense of them not staying together. So if I have to leave them back and be very passive with my pawns, it's fine. Don't overexert them. Let's use our pieces. That's the whole focus point. I mean, I said a lot there, like a football play. It's one play. Just said a lot. Leaving the pawns back so our pieces can work. Nova, quit it, baby girl. Quit, baby girl. And then 2 or 1A, I guess. Let my bishops lay down. Lay down like my puppy. Lay down like a bishop would, babe. Lay back. Lay down. No. Say, no, Dad, I want to sit. Look how perfectly she fits in here. Isn't that great? Kisses for Dad. Good luck kiss. Good luck kisses for Dad. So, if they get threatened, just bring them all the way back to the pawns. If I have a chance to defend, I want to use my bishop to come all the way back to the pawns, defend. Instead of moving my king, I'm just moving my bishops back, letting them sit and have scope. Any reason, any threat, any opportunity to bring my bishops back, I bring them back. My 2 focus points. That's how you build a prodigy. But look at this game. Look how bad the opponent is. Or played, I shouldn't say. You were always a bad player. I don't know you. Yeah, so just take the pawn. I get it. So you take. C takes. And I see it move late a little bit too much right now. 97. Good to see that. What's mine if I move my knight? 94, 94. Okay, so you can't do that shit. I don't know why you thought that would be. See, that's a move where it's not hard to see. It's not. Shouldn't take any time to look at it. It's just an automatic decision. And how do you fucking not see that? That's another thing. I mean, at this level, that's a reaction. That's not a think. That's look +2 ahead. If you look +2 ahead, it'll solve most of your problems. You might not win against good players. You might not get very good with your strategy. But if you're always looking +2 and you have any intelligence at all, like I mentioned, you can be 1800 online. Because look, you don't know what you're doing. You're looking one ahead. You're looking one ahead because you're a moron. You're looking one ahead. If you look one ahead, that's a start. And it's better than looking too many ahead, in my opinion, until you get decent, because then you're just racking your brain and you'd be better off just to analyze until you're better. One ahead is better than overthinking when you don't really know what you're doing or you don't have time playing classical. But you understand your king doesn't have an escape route. So you're going to have to bring a piece back. If you bring your bishop back, it can no longer defend or threaten this when that discovery bullshit happens. And if you bring your rook back, I'm going to force you to bring your bishop back eventually anyway. And then you still can't do anything to this square. It's just incompetent. It's sheer incompetence. And it's amazing. 1822 is not far off from the top 0.1% of all online players. Who taught you to play chess? Not me, that's for sure. Well, I did in that game. Call me Sensei Dayton. And there's another game. It's just very bad. It's very bad. It's bad to the point where I regret ever watching Grandmaster speedruns. Like, imagine a Grandmaster wrecking these idiots. I'm wrecking these idiots. Oh. And this is not good. And this is one of my signs. I know I need to take a break because I let things like that happen. Now, when you have bad pawns, a lot of times it's better, or double pawns in front of your king, to force the queens off, and the opponent should be, a good player would be trying to not let me do that, and you allowed me to be absolute pin. And now, I guess my position was better. During the game, I couldn't decide. Okay, so yeah, you got to look out for that. I'm going to windmill the fuck out of you. I guess it wouldn't be a windmill per se, but similar concept. Okay, so that's a bad move. I didn't know which one to push. With time to think, I probably could have figured it out a little bit better. H5, you would push H5 now. Interesting. Yeah, you really want me to break that open. I get it. Okay. Now, an A player, one of the things differentiating me from like some of those people I mentioned, besides Julia, she's pretty competent. And she plays, her over-the-board numbers are good, so I think that she has a lot of potential even. But it just looks like maybe we should go after that pawn. Maybe we should try to have a strategy to go after that pawn. When you think about it, the king's going to have to go first. Because the pawns are doing a weird but good job of protecting each other, or protecting important squares even though isolated. So you pretty much rule that out, especially in speed chess. Because sometimes there is an option or there is a route and it's taking you too long to find it. It doesn't matter. So now you've got to deal with that pawn. And this bishop is just going to ruin your life. Because you can't close in on my pawn, which means I'm going to get your pawn. And I think I messed this up a little bit. If I remember right, yeah, I did. Yeah, so you can't push that pawn. So I go there. And you go there, and then I'll get it. But I ended up messing this game up. Because here I'm just thinking I'll be able to do that. And maybe I could have, but I couldn't do it in the order I did it. So I had to go. What was I supposed to do? C takes. And then, yeah. But I didn't manage my time very good. Now I'm just thinking draw here, because obviously you can't go to this file ever, which is not like my king would allow you to anyway, but I would then skewer the shit out of you. Okay, so now you're getting desperate because you felt like you were winning at a human level. It might have felt good, but you're wrong, and I was running low on time. And that's an example where I alluded to. I use my time very poorly, especially while talking and or streaming. But I'm pretty good at playing with a low clock in the end game. For my level. And I think people think they're won, or even they're a little worse, but they're winning on time. They're winning in some measure of the game. Like, I'm not drawing this, and I just mess them up. But another example of speed chess, real If I had to give a grade at the swimming competitions, they do a dive, It's a 1. It's a 9. It's a 4. It's an ah. You get an ah from me. What is that date? Is that a 6? Ah. Ah. That's how I rate you. You're just ah. I'm an chess player. No, you're ah. We're playing chess, and that's all that matters is your chess ability. So as a human being right now, until you turn the chess game off, you're just ah. You're an person. I want to do with you. I'm not saying you're just completely irrelevant. I'm not saying you're terrible. You're just ah. Is invisible, but like the Harry Potter kind of invisible. You have a cloak on. Every now and then I can see your outline if I'm a wizard and you're bumping into shit. But at the end of the day, you're just not a noticeable person. You're Some would prefer to be invisible. But regardless of what your preference is, you're It's an irrelevant check. And I can dodge it. You cannot sit your queen there, so why put it there? It's an move by me, though. Is that an move? Really? Okay. But see, I develop bad habits because I play players. And ideas defend against their shitty ideas. Let's look at another game full of play. Okay. Okay, and here you got, if you want to play that, you're pretty much following it with d6. I don't like doing it. I think it's the best play. It's not something I do often anymore, though. Play d5. Why do you want to play d5? Aren't I giving you a pawn? Okay. Oh. Again, trying to lay my minor pieces back. I expect in this stream, recent games and future games, you're going to see a lot more bishop play than knight play. Because bishops, generally speaking, are just very slightly better than a knight. Usually you prefer your bishops. And I need to practice it because the knights are so much more difficult to deal with when you're starting because they're so unpredictable. They don't move in like as logical of a way, I guess. And so you got to work on them because you keep losing games. Be a surprise even when you're winning. The knights just, where'd they come from? But the bishops move in a manner that allows them to be more predictable from a defending standpoint. So I didn't work on those as much when I was starting. Okay, so what should you have done there? That's your miss. Rook takes on f6. And you're going to force a draw. Well, aren't you a tricky little bastard? I guess you are. Yeah, and they don't play. That's a big thing in chess. I read a Paul Morphy book when I was moving to St. Louis. I think that was my first time I went to the chess club. I'm pretty sure I bought a Paul Morphy book. That was one of the first few times. I wasn't living in St. Louis and I hadn't done my extended stay yet. And people think he's just a great attacker. And of course, Morphy was a great all-around player, especially for his time. Most grandmasters that I've heard listen to, which I've heard a few talk about Morphy, but they definitely don't think he'd be a grandmaster today. But he would, just his ability without engines and stuff. If you put him in today's time at his peak, probably a really good international master. And I don't know, so I'll go with what they say. But Morphy was really good at drawing lost games because every human, even Magnus Carlsen, is going to lose or going to be losing. One of the things that separates grandmasters, especially the best, is they salvage shit out of nowhere. They're magicians, but not just with attacking. I would say there's a lot of really good international masters that can attack about like a grandmaster. But the ability to just salvage games that are completely done, to win a drawn game or draw a lost one, is almost a more telling skill of an athlete's ability. That's what it said about Morphy. But at this level online, they don't want to draw, especially if they were winning. It's hard to do that, but you have to change your perspective. And this is a game that features an exception. It's an obvious exception. I've looked at several games that are exceptions. Now, one of the ones that comes to mind was a kid was playing Magnus Carlsen. It wasn't that speed chess. It wasn't the bullet one where the 10-year-old won, which doesn't matter. I mean, it's bullet chess. It's one game. Magnus Carlsen is the best or second best bullet player in the world, but still, it was one game. But it was a longer game where a child prodigy beat. I'm pretty sure it was Magnus. It was a win or a draw, but I want to say it was a. Forget the kid's fucking name. It's gonna drive me nuts. But the kid basically didn't move his bishop from the starting square the entire game until like there were a few moves left. It was amazing, but he was correct. And that's an exception. He ignored the opening principle of activate your minor pieces. But he had other things that were more valuable. And something I started doing over the board, which helped me go from 1400 to 1500. Every time a piece might be trapped or doesn't have scope, even if it's not close to the best move, I'm freeing it up. Because I kept getting my pieces stuck, thinking I had more time to free them up, and then something unexpected happened. And even if I was able to free it now, I was giving up too much other things. So I would just throw a pawn. I'm not letting my bishop get restricted at all. And now I'm having to not focus so much on that and actually really getting into more strategy and looking at the entire board, not just laser focusing on one piece that is in a bad position. But I got in the habit of not getting my pieces stuck, and that was important. Knowing when to make exceptions and not panicking when they happen. It's pretty important. Like, why do you castle? You don't have to castle. You have to get your king safe. When do you relinquish your castling rights then? That's the beautiful thing about chess and why Tyler 1 needs to shut his mouth about grandmasters. Because no human knows. For sure. It's a combination of instinct and experience. And until I get back to 2000, I'm not gonna go out of my way to play exceptions, but I'm certainly not going to avoid them. And look at the panic. The panic here. It's different. This doesn't happen often. And I can see why good players like freestyle chess, because it gives the better player a better chance to prove he or she is a better player. And I'm better than these people. But the exception happens. Now. So, of course, I'm giving up my castling rights. And as soon as I make this next move, it's clear the opponent has the option to make me relinquish my castling rights, because I'm not going to let you keep a piece. But I'm going to lose my defense of the g3 square. So sure, you can have them. But my king is far from unsafe. I don't feel super comfortable in speed chess the way it is. My king is far from unsafe. It's in the middle of the board. I ignored the opening principle of castle. But I'm going to have options to get my king safe. I don't even know where I want to put it first. You got to be comfortable with uncertainty and know when real danger exists. And that's not the best move, but I want that bishop gone. And then after that bishop moves, I was going to decide which way I wanted to get my king safe. But I didn't have to worry about that. And now you have to, it's not a good move, but you can take it and allow me to do kind of what I did there. Get all my pawns reconnected, and now I can really, really play and have some structure. You know, not just be at the mercy of the other person dictating my game, because I can dictate a lot of things when my pawns are together that much. So you can take it, or you can defend your bishop. Hell, even that, I guess, would be better than giving your bishop away, or just moving, not winning anything, giving your bishop. That would be better than just giving your bishop away. But there, it's all bad. You only have 2 moves there. You take with check, which is not a good move. No, okay, I guess you move your bishop. So you have 3 options there. You take with check, which would be the worst of the 3. You can defend your bishop, or you can move your bishop, but you can't give your bishop away. Terrible, terrible chess battle number 4 by thy enemies. Okay. And this one, There was one game that was played decent. I forget which one it was. Might have been this one. I'm in the car now. I'm back from Jersey Mike's, sitting in my parking lot. Yep, bad move. And I'm gonna move late sometimes. I'm gonna move late. Speed chess. It's not an understanding issue. It's a this is fast and I'm trying to be faster. But now the bishop is trapped. At this level, a big mistake, another big mistake, is if they can't win a piece, they stop looking. Meaning they don't do a good job trapping things, in my opinion, or even looking to trap things. Getting better at finding mates, and not the roundabout way to do it. I missed that mate in one, but I found it again. Okay, so here you want to use your bishop. You don't want that pawn isolated. And this, it's just a better move. Okay, so you want me to, yeah. So now, arguably, black has. I would have preferred. I don't know that I prefer black, but I definitely wouldn't prefer black, but it's fine. And just lazy. I mean, you feel comfortable there because your bishop can't be hit, but what are you doing? What are you blocking? You're not blocking any piece from that I need to protect the knight. The knight is not. My knight's way better than your bishop right now. And you made your bishop worse. My knight was better than your bishop anywhere it would have won, and now it's a million times better. And this is where I was a move late. I have to trap it now. Now you should be doing everything you can to save your bishop. Meaning, I guess that's your only way to do it, right? Because bishop can't go forward. It could take there, but I don't think I would even try to do that. I would probably just go here, right? Because if here, then here, then here, then you're still in the same predicament. So I would go here, I would check you, and then I would push, I'm assuming. Seems right. But either way, you're going to lose because you didn't play that move. It's your only move. And I did work on that a lot in the intermediate levels. I wrote down some of it, what my main focus points were for each what I'm calling tier. But there's a few moves throughout the course of a game where you win or you lose. And then there are a lot of moves where it would have been nice to have that. It would have made your life easier, but it's certainly not a make or break deal. That's a make or break deal. If you use your entire clock, I mean, not your entire clock, but if you use too much time, that's a move where you should be allowing yourself in a game plan and longer time controls. A couple situations, I call them long thinks. In 45 minutes, what I used to do is I would give myself, I think, 5. In classical, I would give myself 7 to 9. And I don't think I'm allowed to actually now that I've read the rules and stuff, but I would jot on my scorecard 1 and then 2 tally marks. So it would be a long think. I use one of my long thinks. Don't do it again. Once I reach, however many I'm allotting myself for that time control, and that bishop situation will be a long think. Because you're going to lose if you don't do it correctly. So I guess maybe decent play, but you get your bishop trapped. So decent play and one bad enough mistake is still a bad game. Yeah. See, I mean, come on, man. It's almost always better if the queen is not going to force you to relinquish your castling rights with a queen trade. Take there, it activates your bishop, gives your queen some options. Like, this is elementary shit. That pawn is not free. That pawn is not free. Oh, good God, that's just pathetic. It's terrible. Now, of course, I get it. You can't. That's got to be the best play, right? No. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I shouldn't even have to be seeing these things. I shouldn't have to practice this at all because it's not going to happen. That's a mistake. Bullshit. 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 Nah, surely not. It's not a... I don't know about that. I see your point, I guess. And where a good player, or where this player did not make my life hard once I had the advantage. A good player would try to find ways to make it difficult. I mean, it's hard because you don't have enough resources. But here, of course, I'm trying to trade the queens. But you didn't really do anything to make me earn it after I had the advantage. Good rook lift. No, that's very, very crucial. Actually, it would have been fine had I not done anything with the rook. Like, let's say I could have taken there, I guess. I was worried about, and I only have 3 minutes to make this decision, so it's usually not an ability issue. It's a I don't have time issue. But here I can hide, or I guess technically I can hide anywhere because my queen's going to be defending that pawn. But it just felt more comfortable with the lead to bring my rook up. To go ahead and give the check. And then with the rook. That's what I did. That's six games that are supposed to be pretty close to expert. Pretty sure chess.com defines expert as 2000. So we're not far from there. Respond to our daily challenges. Now a lot of my friends. This is Big J from my first casino. What up, Big J? Jeremiah, nice guy, very kind person. You tell how people are based on how they treat others when an individual is new or has nothing to offer them. Big J's was very nice. As soon as I met him dealing, he was a craps dealer mostly. I'd love to meet him at the club. I think he's in Illinois now, but not super far away. But I mean, I'm going to beat most of my friends just because I play a lot of chess and I've taken some lectures over the board. I'm obsessive enough to do this shit too much, but I'm trying to play it properly. So if here, you can go, Big J can sacrifice that. No, you can't. And I can discover. So that would be fine. If I don't make that rook move, you can go here. And then I can't take it. No, you still can't do that because then I would check to save my rook. Then I would go. Let's do something real weird. No, because then you would be able to do something. Make the lazy but solid move for now. What are you doing to me? You can't do that. So let's say here. And then some irrelevant move. This is a placeholder. Call them bookmarks. I'm making a move for the opponent that's completely irrelevant, but it doesn't change the position. Kind of like dream positions. Like assume you get a bunch of moves in a row, where would you like to be? It's not going to happen. It's not realistic. But then you start at least looking for a possible path. And you don't give up on the idea. That's a dream position. That's what I like to do. The opponent makes some stupid move, but I'm here now. So then after any move, I sacrifice it. It says that the rook is pinned, the rook can't slide. So then you would go there. That's a terrible sacrifice. Let's just activate our bishop. Daily ratings mean nothing. They really mean nothing. Okay, so was targeting that pawn really worth letting me do what I wanted, which is, of course, to make you relinquish your castling rights? It's here. You can drop it back, I guess. So you won't relinquish your castling rights. I'm mistaken. So my option, I have the option of that, and then assuming there takes there, here, you don't have a pawn to kick my knight anymore. I'm defending that pawn. And now my rook's. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep playing on my phone for now. I'm just more comfortable. I played way more on my phone because I played at work and Uber rides and shit everywhere. Everywhere I went. Couldn't even drive to the gas station for a while. I got so addictive. If you could only see the way she loves me, maybe you would understand. When she says she loves me. They'll be right there to get you. Okay, on, guys. Okay, great job. This might not be in tune. I'm really just trying to make sure I don't go right into my games, get in that bad habit of not reviewing anything. If you could only see the way she loves me. That's a power chord, right? Then it sounds a little bit off. I need my electric guitar for this. She loves me. Maybe you would understand. G with an F? How do I even do that? I've never seen that. Every now and then you run into a chord you've never seen. D sharp. E, F, I guess so. 3 up. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, fine. It's a weird power chord not be on the 5th or 6th string, whatever. Why I feel this way about our love and what I must do. I'll stop going high on that. That was kind of pretty. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be, her eyes can be when she's sad. For brown eyes, usually. When she says she loves me. Well, you got your reasons, and you got your lies, you got your manipulations, they cut me down to size. Saying you love, but you don't. You give your love, but if you could only see the way she loves me, maybe you would understand. Why I feel this way about our love and what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me. Seems the road less traveled shows happiness unraveled, and you gotta take a little time to keep what you love. That's what you gotta do. I heard this at the casino. I haven't heard this song in years, but I like it. Saying you love, but you don't. You give your love, but you won't. You're stretching out your arms, but just not there. Saying you love where you stand, give your heart where you can. If you could only see the way she loves me, maybe you would understand why I feel this way about our love and what I must do. When she says she loves me. Saying you love, but you don't. You give your love, but you won't. Pretty song. Let's play. No, let's come back. Move back. No, move back. No. That's a play music. So look. Move some jazz off. There you go. Come on, girl. Come here. Let's go. And in. Atta girl. It's cool that YouTube doesn't pick up on covers, so it doesn't give any copyright risk when you're singing or playing. It just recognizes the actual song if you play it. I feel like if you play it on Apple Music, it won't let you do that. But if you can sing or play instruments, very rarely does it stop you or take away your ad revenue. Another song I'm gonna get into. F flat. This is a hard way to play your E flats. Just gonna move the chords. Okay, let's do this. Try to keep every session under an hour. I don't want to be a streamer. I want to be a player, so I'm trying to get some benefit out of this. That drives me nuts to be able to see that. Cover my eyes from the computer screen. As I mentioned, Bishop's usually going to come back in these streams. That's fine. It's a weird move. Why? You still have to move your bishop first, okay? I guess so. Yeah, okay, misplayed it. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like some of those other games I was mentioning. It's not really that bad. Okay, I have a threat. See, so now so now I'm all right with trading. You don't want to really give your queen away. I can get that pawn, and then I have another pawn to target. Okay, so now it's more comfortable to do that. And suddenly I'm not very bad. If not slightly better. Why? You're frozen? decision. You gotta take the pawn. That was terrible. This was terrible. My name's Dayton. Didn't play very good. Yeah. Kind of important. I mean, a general rule is if you have an option of which piece to recapture with, capture with a piece of lesser value. But I think that's, I mean, it's another thing where it's nothing but a general rule. It might help you win more games at the beginner level, but it's not going to help you think properly. Just do that. But it's less likely to be true if you are a beginner and you just want to try to win games and not really improve your thinking, I guess, which would be dumb. Around your king, be careful with exceptions. That's like, or be careful with like generalities. So generally, yeah, maybe consider recapturing with a piece of lesser value, but not in front of your king. You need to think about everything in front of your king. Then you're going here, and I'm going to have a lot of problem getting that out. It's at least going to take me too many moves to get that out, and it's going to change the whole dynamic of the position too. Because I'll have to bring my pieces, which are currently, I mean, I'm worse here, but my pieces are pretty active. So then I'll have to relinquish that, which is my only advantage. Okay. Again, that's a move where I didn't feel like there was a huge advantage or disadvantage. Just make a move, but apparently it's pretty big deal to push that pawn. I want to separate those two, but and that's another situation where online chess can develop bad habits. I've seen enough times where they don't coordinate these pawns or protect them with their pieces properly, consistently enough for me to worry about it. So I've gotten the habit of making moves that work, and I could have went ahead and taken on e3, but I did the right thing. Okay. And of course, I don't really want to do that. If I were to do something like that, leaving this here. Wait. Would do you no good to do that? So that would have been something to consider actually, to take that pawn. And those types of moves, which now it's getting uncomfortable. I'm not concerned. This is not a very good opponent, and I've seen plenty of positions now. But you're not spending. People spend too much time on moves like that. They get scared of the uncommon situations, and even if they are willing to try them, which you're going to have to, they take too long. It's got to go there. Yeah. And I gotta use my time better because then I'm just doing stupid stuff. Just wanted to do it. Just felt like it'd be fun. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, don't play like me. I have these moments. Sometimes I plan to do it because what's life with no fun? Um, and other times I just get caught in the moment. Um, but you didn't punish me for it, and that's on my chest. Okay, let's sing this song 'cause I like it. And because I just played a garbage game and did stupid stuff to make it worse at the end, I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna walk my dog. It's a beautiful day out. We walk along the Missouri River. It's just so fucking peaceful. I don't know if I want to live in an apartment my whole life. I don't. Well, I don't. I know I don't. Um, but if I had to choose between like having a really nice house and having just a very small but decent house, modest house that's updated, I'm pretty fashionable. I built a house right before COVID, and then life was going good. Had a corporate job, and corporate tech was the place to be. I was well past my 3 year mark. Um, I guess I wasn't well past. If you count the internships, I would have been. But 3 years is kind of that unwritten rule where like, you certainly haven't paid your dues. It's not like you're established, but people will start to respect you, know that you're going to show up on time when you said you would, give a decent presentation, think outside the box a little bit. At 3 years, you have no issues. You can start looking at moving, like San Bruno, uh, in Walmart's case, or Silicon Valley in tech. And I was doing well. So let's build a house. And I kind of got into the lighting. And my mom would come just a few times, and on my lunch I would go look at lights for the house and look at different color schemes. And I really kind of like it. I like Chip and Jo. Um, my favorite, well, I have two favorites um, on HGTV. David, the gay guy. He's just known as the gay guy. David's openly, he's flaming gay. He's flaming gay, but he's got great taste. He's super kind. I think he kind of has a heart for the people who won the lottery. He doesn't want to see them go broke. He doesn't want them to ruin their lives. If he has any advice, he tries to chime in and tell what other couples have struggled with who won the lottery. He's a good person, and he's very fucking talented. Um, and the other one I kind of liked. I don't think there were a couple. It's been so long. I watched my old house son, so it would have been in 2019, 2020, or 28. I watched them when I was working in Bentonville. What's that couple? Maybe they're not a couple, but it's a guy and a girl, and they both get the customer, and they see who can make the better house for the better deal, and they just are at each other's throats the whole time. But they're both very good. So those two I like to watch. And then Chip and Jo, I just respected what they did. Chip and Jo are very entertaining, but in my viewpoint, I just like to watch how they did things. They weren't maybe my type of entertainment, personality wise, because they were more serious. Property Brothers were good too, but I love that shit. So I could take like a little modest home, not a tiny home. I bump my head, but a decent home, and then keep my apartment. Otherwise, I'd probably just stay in my apartment because it's so convenient to get up and just walk my dog by the river, study some chess, take a book to the park, which I could run there. It'd be about 3 miles. It's too far to run, but I'm not going to lie. I've never done it, but I certainly should at my age. Run 3 miles and at the park. And most houses, they're not so conveniently located by massage parlors, by places to get your hair cut, by stores, restaurants. I like nice things. So, only way I'd move into a nice house is if I could get one by the chess club. And those are really expensive. So won't be doing that. Although I'd like to use this as an opportunity to promote myself as a trophy husband. I can't think of a better trophy husband. College educated. my D's that way, or my major flats, but I certainly should. Trophy husband. Anyway, I play 4 instruments, 2 very, very well, and alto and ukulele, alto sax and ukulele. I'm certainly no good, but I could play it enough to make you recognize your favorite riffs. More than good enough for that. I've never taken lessons on those, so if I did, it would come quickly. So 4 instruments, college degree, very competent in tech. I'll probably never go back, but I could. Macros and Excel, all the important softwares, Worksoft certified, automation shit. SAP, I don't know if SAP is still the main ERP solution, but if not, it's number 2 behind Oracle. Write a little bit of code. More importantly, I can read it. AI is going to write code anyway. Who cares? Oh, you're the best software developer in the world for humans? That's cool. That's cool. You're fired. How do systems talk? All the high-level stuff is what matters. And I looked at so many damn Visio charts. Process flows, decisions. Oh, my God. So if the content stuff doesn't work long-term, you could always do that. But I want to be a trophy husband, so I won't have to. Take good care of me, babe. Just don't hashtag call it out if I have one bad day. Takes 3. I always say when I'm dealing cards, which is my backup plan. Look, thinking outside the box, creative, but also financially. Maybe not wise. I like nice things, but long-term focused. You got table games in the lives. What the hell is he doing? Yeah, VP of Microsoft for Internet of Things or any tech department. Might have just got laid off. And unlike previous times, no one needs that skill set. If you got laid off at a big company, likely their competitors are using the same new innovation. So you're done. Now, if I did want to go back to corporate or had a family, needed good benefits again, which I have good benefits now. I love the casino. But maybe better hours to coaches teams and stuff. Take him to chess lessons or her. I could delete some of my more out there content, do that. But the difference between me and most corporate people is I know I can go back to dealing, and I would probably deal anyway, which would be a weird combination. You work at a casino at night, you get all smoky, yeah, and I love it. I love it. Now let's talk about whether or not we should invest in this new Adobe product. Casino is great for communication practice, but I would never be worried because I always have a good backup plan that pays well and has insurance. If my wife had to take a career break to raise Datina, my hypothetical boy's name, or girl's name, my boy would be Dayton Jr., I'll pick up the slack. I can definitely take control, but I don't want to. I'd rather play my guitar and not be tired for chess games. Trophy husband. Let me know. Oh, last thing on the trophy husband tangent. Then I'm going to sing the song. If the feminists get riled up again, first of all, go talk to a veteran who's lost his legs or wasn't taken care of properly, not good access to mental health care while he tried to adjust back to civilian life with PTSD. Feminists, unless you were physically abused or sexually assaulted, which go hand in hand, I really struggle to feel bad for you. You didn't get the opportunity. You got overlooked for a job. That's not right. Let's try to fix it. And I have a weird respect for feminists who go after the big guys. If you go after the big decision makers, which usually they don't, I might march with you, or at least say, yeah, sure, I'll listen. It's when you go after the little guys to try to prove how tough you are and you're mean enough to run companies and shit. that I really just want nothing to do with you. And I want to mock you. Because you are why Andrew Tate is the number one influence of young men. It's completely your fault. 95% your fault. Because you give him an opportunity to say, see, women are heartless. See, you don't have a job anymore. Or that person got screwed. Maybe he was guilty, but the next one might not be. You give him all the leverage when you think you're helping young women. You really, really fuck them in the long run. Because Gen Alpha, by the time they're my age, will have heard that from such a young age over and over. And during COVID lockdown, women are bimbos, blah, blah, blah. That men will never want to marry any even the nicest woman. I promise. So last point on the trophy husband thing, I need you to stand up for me. Because if I do it, I've got anger issues. Hey, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to start a family one day? My career's over. I don't have a referral. If a man would have done that to a girl, he's permanently ruined, or it's handled the next day. But a female boss can do that to a young man, and she's just defending herself from nothing. Well, if you should coach him, you should send him to HR. Doesn't matter. Man is a monster. So I need you to handle that one for me. And then I'll be the best trophy husband ever. And decide on where we eat. I'll write it down. Sonic. You know I hate fast food, babe. That's fine. That was my choice. What do you want? Applebee's. Cool. That was a test. You passed. I don't really want to go to Sonic either. I just want you to make a goddamn decision or agree with mine. I'm not going back and forth on it. Here we go. I wonder if I should start trying to put my D's that way. Regularly to get used to it. It's a cool thing about guitar. It's all pretty much slidable. That's why bar chords are so helpful. If I could travel back into time, I'd probably go sit in my spaceship. Colorful lights on the inside to brighten my frowning faces. Got the radio loud when it's in drive, 'cause I ain't trying to hear your frustrations. I'm floating on clouds in the sky. What an imagination. I crank the engine up and take a trip to see stars. Sit on top the moon, build a mansion on Mars. Take me back to when I had no bandage and no scars. Remember when I was a young and wasn't stressing at all. Someone there to catch me every time that I fall. Someone there with me at my every beck and call. Way before you met me, wasn't no problems I could solve. Swear that I would trade it all. I go back in time. I'd fly to another dimension and make this right. Kill all this mental tension that makes me fight. It's the only way I know I'ma be alright tonight. If the butterfly effect only made this right. Roll the window down when I'm up high. A breath of fresh air when I'm flying. It drives me crazy sometimes. I'd rather sit alone in the silence. Recline in my seat when I get tired. Light something up when I'm vibing. I'm floating on clouds in the sky. Fall asleep under the horizon. I crank the engine up and take a trip to see stars. Sit on top of the moon, build a mansion on Mars. Take me back to when I had no bandage and no scars. Remember when I was a young and wasn't stressing at all. I would change the pieces to the puzzle where your heart. If I could do it all, and take it back to what it was. Back before we ever made mistakes from the start. If only I could trade it all, I'd go back in time. I'll fly to another dimension and make this right. Kill all this mental tension that makes me fight me. I shouldn't try to play eyes closed, of course I'm not super comfortable with it. It's the only way I know I'm gonna be alright tonight. Life had only made us right. Yeah. I used to sit inside my room on the floor trying to build a fort and use a blanket as a door. Yeah. Cardboard boxes drawing pictures on the board. At the times I felt rich, even though we was really poor. True. Imaginary friends thought that I was nuts, but I was only 10 and everyone was out of touch. Yeah. Dream about a Benz every time I caught the bus. I used to watch the other kids. Now them kids are watching us, but sometimes I feel like a butterfly with broken wings. Because even if it's still flying, it don't float the same. I often think about the past way before the fame and how I used to cope with pain and why I overcame. It's weighing heavy on my skull. I wish I knew the pressure was so heavy for my soul. If I could do it over, I'd trade everything I own, take back everything I know. If I could only trade it all. I go back in time. I fly to another dimension and make this right. Kill all this mental tension that makes me fight. It's the only way I know I'ma be alright tonight. If the butterfly effect only made this right. I'm gonna take the trash out. Oh, my dog. Thank you for the like. Thank you for joining, viewers. Sorry I didn't interact, but it's kind of my thing. This is mostly for documentation purposes, and I find it fun. I'll be back online later tonight. Nova Squawk, man.